I'm in the room.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to the Grwn Woman Podcast.
With your host, Marian and,
of course, Shakkiah.
Get ready for candid conversations, expert insights, and plenty of laughter along the way.
Of course.
Tune in and join our community of empowered women navigating life's journey with style and grace.
With style and grace. Love it. Tune into today's...
It's just going to be an intimate conversation, but I do need y'all to be engaged because we created questions for engagement. So it is not just us talking, right? So that means y'all going to have to take up the ownership of answering the questions and giving good feedback. Yes, you will be on camera. I love y'all. Every one of y'all. AJ, okay? Okay. Crystal, we all gonna be on camera tonight, okay? Okay. Just make sure we all got agreement before that camera come on. So I don't have to be calling y'all out on camera. Martina, you ready? It's your moment, baby. It is your moment. You got some lived experiences you need to be sharing, okay? Who else back there? What's her name? What's your name?
You.
Who? Carrie, you ready for your moment? Okay. All right. Who other names? I don't know. Tony, I know he ready. Terrence, you ready for your moment? No?
The
You behind
camera crew.
Okay. Who is this laughing? You ready for yours? Oh.
Everybody's participating. We need participation.
Are you ready? I know you got the suit on. He put the suit and the tie on. He said, y'all catching me today. Okay, he put on his Sunday best. De'Ara, you ready? Okay. All right. Are you going to listen? Don't walk them with the church shoes. We got to be ready. Okay. I love all of y'all. All right. Are we recording? Oh, this is all on camera.
We're live,
amazing.
baby. We're live.
We are not live. We're live? Oh, I was like.
Welcome to the Grwn Woman Podcast.
All right. So this is the Friendsgiving edition. We're going to come in. We're going to do our quick little check-in. And then we'll start with the Friendsgiving. So I think we should probably focus and face this way. All right. So can you count us down so I can get in mode? Okay. Welcome to the Grwn Woman Podcast. We're super excited. Are we excited?
Super excited. Woo!
Oh, we have people in the background, y'all. This is actually a live podcast. They didn't get the cue, but we here. We are here for the Friendsgiving edition. We just celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday, but we're actually hosting and doing our Friendsgiving tomorrow. And so when we were recording last week or a couple of weeks ago, right, she's Dominican and I'm Black. And I was like, I wonder what the rules are for like Dominican Latinas. Like, you know, when we're going through kind of our cultural, I guess our cultural traditions for the holidays. I found it amazing how they do things differently than us. And I had my first Puerto Rican Thanksgiving yesterday. Listen, y'all better get some Puerto Rican friends. That food was fire, okay? It was fire. I love all Puerto Rican people. You can invite me to your Thanksgiving next year. But we just had questions of like, how do you do it? What is it about? And then that kind of kicked off into, well, what is the rules for Thanksgiving or holidays, period? If you have a boo, if you have a friend, like, how does that work, right? So we're going to ask y'all the questions so we can kind of get this engagement of what does it look like around the holidays. But before we jump in, you want to share how your Thanksgiving was?
I thought we were going to do a check-in. Are we just going to?
This is a check-in.
Oh, I thought we were going to do our personal
almost
check-in.
said mine on camera. This is the check-in. My G.
Well, Thanksgiving for me, I always celebrate in Canada. I only celebrate in October. So our Thanksgiving is October.
See, I learned something new.
But I told you that we usually bring lasagna.
Yeah.
And you're like, lasagna on Thanksgiving?
Whoever, I mean, I'm not saying that you don't eat lasagna on Thanksgiving, but do y'all eat lasagna on Thanksgiving? Absolutely. Of course, it would be one. Okay.
I don't like turkey that much, so we usually bring like the pork,
Okay.
which you had yesterday.
Yes, I
It's
had
just
some
like
pork
that.
yesterday.
And you criticize our potato salad because we put carrots.
Carrots and potato salad.
It's really good.
It's like raisins.
Nah,
It's like raisins in your potato salad, right? Who puts raisins in
You
their
have
potato
to
salad?
try it so you can understand it.
Okay, who puts carrots in their potato salad? See, y'all.
I'm not Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Something that I'm sure you guys bring to Thanksgiving is the family drama. So we have a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fights.
Don't do us as black people, okay? Don't do
We
us
have
as
that
black
too.
people.
Listen, I'm waiting for Christmas because there's some drama in my family going on. I can't wait.
And what
to be
else?
there.
What else is your menu like?
That I like.
No, what is the menu like in?
Well,
other
we have
than
rice and peas. Like the Puerto Rican rice is very similar to what we
Okay.
make. The lasagna, the pork. Sometimes we have turkey. Sometimes we don't.
Okay.
I don't really like turkey.
Mm-hmm.
We have plantain,
Okay.
green and yellow plantain,
Okay.
green salad.
I thought she was gonna say greens, like greens, but
No.
Okay.
We season our food.
Yeah.
And what else? I can think of anything else. That's
So
pretty much
on our menu, what we have, y'all, on our menu?
sweet potatoes.
Greens, beans, all of it. Okay. Don't get at us, okay? But we have greens, beans, potatoes, dressing, ham, turkey.
I
See, I don't be cooking, so I
better not be
forgot.
disappointed tomorrow because this is my first
This is her
Black
first
experience Thanksgiving.
Black experience, y'all. Did she just say that? This is her first
I can't say that, right? 'Cause I'm
cultural. You
Latino.
can say it. It's okay.
I'm black
You-
too.
You're,
I'm
you're like
Dominican.
light skin, black, brown.
Look at this hair. It's curly hair.
Oh my goodness. See, listen, we are recording this.
No,
so
I'm
I-
saying because I'm Dominican. We're black too.
Is Dominican black? I'm
Yes.
being honest. Do we?
Yes.
Is Dominican black?
Yes.
Okay, you just light skinned.
We had this conversation. Half of my
They got okay.
half of my family is black, half is white. So it's like
No, listen, y'all. I'm
Yeah.
just making sure I'm keeping my black card on camera. I gotta make
Yeah.
sure. Oh, hence the carrots, right? In the lasagna. What are we doing? And she didn't say nothing about dressing, so they're kind of black, but not all the way black. All right, I love my black and brown people, so I don't want to be canceled. But after this, we're going to do a kumbaya, and we're going to come together as black and brown people. But one of the questions that I had, so we were talking about just like dating. What does that look like if you have a new friend? Like, do you bring this new friend to Thanksgiving, or can you bring this friend to Friendsgiving? And what was the difference, right? And I said, well, how long does it take when this new friend comes into the picture before you can bring this friend to your Thanksgiving? What was your thoughts? Hers was 3 days. I mean, your
Somebody that you're
preference of who you
dating.
like. I mean, you're dating. So if you're dating, how long do you have to date before they can come to your Thanksgiving?
6 months.
Oh, see, there's a difference in the dating, right? We hear exclusive dating,
Oh, that's
friend.
true.
So it's longer than 6 months if you're exclusive. Okay.
I think for me, now that like I'm divorced, it will take me longer.
Yeah.
Because my family will be all up in their business
Uh-huh.
asking when are y'all getting married and
Yeah.
stuff the first time they meet these
Yeah.
dudes. So I don't want that.
So the question, right? It was exclusive dating, etc. So we just kind of want to hear somebody's point of view of how long does it take before they can come to your family's house for Thanksgiving? Oh, we all quiet now? What's happening?
So it just depends. It depends if they're your exclusive person or if y'all are just hanging out, dating, and gone on some dates. If y'all have gone on dates, they're not coming. But if you're my boyfriend, my man,
Yeah.
I think like if we in there for 6 months is a good time frame.
So if you just meet a person
He's
and
not
y'all
coming.
vibing, y'all not
No,
coming.
he's not
So do y'all
coming.
meet up after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
For sure, we'll meet up after
6 months. Is
I
it?
can
Is
bring him
it
a plate.
6?
I'll
You'll
bring you
make him a plate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can come pick up the plate. You just can't come inside. You can come pick it up. You're not coming
But
in,
he
though.
not coming
Oh,
inside.
No.
Wow.
Nah. Yeah, you can't meet my family yet. You can't think that you in there like that, and I don't want them thinking nothing either. So you good.
So we making plates. You pulling up,
Yeah,
but
for
you're not
sure.
coming in.
Absolutely.
I got somebody perspective behind you. That's. So when you're dating a girl, how long before y'all date she can come into the family Thanksgiving?
Well, you know, supposedly ladies know what's going on within the first 10 seconds, supposedly.
I never heard that. It take me about a good year.
I've heard it. And for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. At 47, I'm coming in out the gate, not playing. You know, so if I'm believe me, if I'm even interested in the female at all, then yeah, she gonna definitely be able to be around whoever is important to me. Because if she's important to me, why wouldn't she be around people that's important to me?
I mean, how do you know if she's important or not?
For one, I pray first before I even approach. So I'm gonna ask the Most High to direct me to the female that He has for me.
Okay.
And He's gonna do that.
Okay.
So I'm going out the gate, know what time it is. I'm not. I mean, you know, sometimes when we teenagers, we 20s, we 30s, we younger. We thinking in terms of we got a lot of time on this planet. We don't. I done seen things turn sour in a matter of seconds. So for me, I don't have time to waste playing with females. I mean, we either all in or we all out.
Oh. But how soon? How soon? So if you met this female and this was a week ago, she comes to Friendsgiving or Thanksgiving, sorry.
So check this out. I'm from the school of speaking things into existence. And so with being a person that speaks things into existence and not not playing around, I'm going to speak it. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to have faith in the person that He allowed me to cross paths with is that person.
Okay.
We're going to go from there.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Listen.
Ain't no elementary school around playing here. This is college. It's college level right here.
Period, Pooh.
College level.
Period, Pooh. Okay, so what are the rules for bringing someone around the family, right? Like, what is the rules for new people coming around the family? So if I think about my family is, hey, daddy, a little different than most families, right? So we're hardcore. You got to be able to take a rib. You got to be able to take somebody talking about you, laughing at you. Like, you come in the door, my mama at you. 10 toes down, like, she at you, right? And so for a person to come in my house, I'm like, you got to be strong. You got to be able to laugh. You got to be able to understand. But I also got to know that you can hang. So what are the rules for bringing a new person into the fold?
For me, I feel like I love everything that you say. Like, your family. I got to know that you can take a joke, that we can roast you. But I've never, and I said this before, I've never dated outside of my culture. So I know that a Latino man will handle everything that's coming his way. I just don't know somebody from a different culture. Like, we start talking in Spanish and you don't understand what's going on. And everybody's like looking at you. That's how my family is. I don't know. That makes me a little bit nervous because, like, I mean, we've talked about it, right? We've talked about it, right? So, of course, I want to experience dating outside of the culture, and hopefully that leads to the next step. But I think that's my only thing. Because my mom doesn't speak English. So if he doesn't speak Spanish, I feel like that's going to be challenging. But my mom can look at somebody and she can read you like a book. Like, she'll tell me right away, yes, no. Yeah.
Oh, my
Our producer.
Thank you. No, I got a big family. Like, we got elders all the way down to youngsters. So number one, you got to be able to move and groove with anybody in my family. Two, as the new woman coming in, a very heavy dominated conversation, you got to be able to speak it too. They're going to ask you all kind of questions because we don't even have to be dating, but you showed up with me. How do you know him? What do you work on? What's your intentions? What do you got going on? Do you own a business? Granny going to run you down. That's just what she does. She's going to run you down. Number 3, you got to be able to play spades. Okay?
Play what?
You got to be able to play spades because that's where the real trash talking happens in my family, and you got to be able to hold your own in the trash talking because my brothers and sisters, we rib just because we ain't got nothing else to do at that moment. So if you can handle that, if you can survive that, oh, you in the family for life. You ain't even got to be with me. You in the family.
So do you have to play spades? I feel like black people feel that because you're black, you should be able to play spades.
You are. You're supposed to.
I don't know how to play spades.
Do.
I don't play spades. I don't even want to learn how to play spades.
You got to know.
Because my thing is I don't want to end my friendship with whoever I'm friends with because I messed up in spades.
You just going to have to take that L.
I've seen tables flipped over because of playing spades.
Let me ask something. So, like, when you guys do Thanksgiving with because my family is wild. Like, my aunties will be twerking on the floor and all of, like, that man got to be ready for what he's going to see. Are you guys the same way? Like, on your Thanksgiving, people are twerking around?
Yes.
Like,
we have a habitual twerker in my family.
they're not crazy like that, getting drunk? Sorry, that's what my family does. Oh, yeah, my family likes that.
There's one in every family.
Can we, hold on, we got to get you on mic.
No, I was just gonna speak to Marian's point, like, cause the person I used to date years ago for 4 years was Puerto Rican, so and his aunts did not speak any English, but that never bothered me.
Okay.
So like he would just translate for me what they were saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then eventually, when you're with somebody for so long, and I went to a bilingual high school, so you catch on, but they appreciate when you put the effort into learning their culture too. So I would try, but then after a while, because it would be conversations, aunts would be talking, and I'm like, why y'all talking about your brother like that? And they would turn around so fast, like, oh, you.
Because you was learning, yeah.
But that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that you have to know who you with, and I think sometimes when you speak in a different dialect, like people, they're talking about you, and they may or may not be.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you can't force them. That's their language, and that's you're in their home, so you want them to speak English in their own home. No, like you.
Yeah.
To their home. So that's
How many people have ever dated outside their race? Well, you raised your hand fast. She was happy about that. So more men than females have dated outside their race. I've never dated. I have. I lied. I did date a Puerto Rican. I was about to say I've never dated a Puerto Rican. I've dated a Caucasian too. I did. I felt, no lie, I think, and I might lose my black card for this. The Caucasian that I dated was probably one of my best partners. It was probably one of my best partners in real life, dating.
So what I'm learning through this experience of dating is I don't know if I say this with a little bit of respect. Latinos were very spicy, and there's going to be days when I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like, dude, I'm gonna block for 3 days. So I feel like I don't know if a black man can handle that. Just because I had a conversation today with someone, and what I got was like, you're always yelling at me, and I'm like, but I'm not. That's how I talk, and sometimes you gotta that I'm gonna have my days and have my moments, but this is not that I hear that. So is that a thing from the black man in the room? Can you guys handle the spiciness of Latinas? Because I feel like we're very similar. I mean, no.
To be honest with you, we actually kind of prefer it.
We talked about this in the last episode.
We actually kind of prefer it.
That's right. Remind us. We talked about this. We just didn't record it.
We love a little small. We don't really want, as much as people talk about submissive, we don't want it really. It bores us. It makes us move around quicker. It does.
Wait a minute.
Dead serious.
Keep going.
It will bore us. So having that little spice and that little pushback, that little bit of aggression of you, it makes you a little bit more human. We've had that.
Then why are y'all complaining? You yell at me too much. Like, what does that mean?
Because we got to get used to you. We got to understand what your yelling is. We got to understand what your spiciness is and what it means to you. After we realize this is you, this is how you are, this is how you convey, this is how you show emotions, then it doesn't bother us as more. as we start to learn more about you, we start to learn that this is how you are, and it's up to us to decide whether or not we want to accept it or not.
That's true.
Okay, come on, Preacher.
So check this out, right? Coming from a higher level of thinking, y'all talked about race, right? It's only one race, the human race, first and foremost. I want to put that out there.
Yes, sir.
So for me, I don't look at it as, dating this European or dating this Latino.
But there's different cultural differences. So acknowledging that, right? I don't want somebody not to acknowledge that I'm a black woman when you're dating just because we have the same blood. We do. We bleed the same, but baby, I'm a black woman. So I want that acknowledged regardless, right? Like, so I feel that people that talk like that's fine, but if you don't acknowledge that, then how can you culturally be aware of the things that may be different for me and different for somebody else?
It's called research.
No, it's called understanding what the race and identity is, right?
It's called research.
Research of what, sir?
The human.
Human.
The human.
Human.
And when I say research, I'm not talking about technical research. I'm talking about being a listener, being observant, utilizing things that you can't read in books. And me, I'm a communicator and a watcher. I watch myself. I watch other humans. And believe it or not, as you watch humans, they'll tell you some things that you're not going to get.
So are you going to tell me that there is no cultural difference between dating a woman that is black and dating a woman that is of a different race?
I'll be lying if I told you that.
But you said don't acknowledge that.
I never said not to acknowledge it. I said that I'm a type of individual. I'm not going to put as much energy into that as I am into listening what that person had to say. Because regardless of what culture you in, each individual varies. They different regardless of what culture they in.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna give you a clear and concise example.
Oh, okay.
Just because I may have been great in bed with a person that looks similar to me, don't mean I'm gonna be great in bed with a person that don't look similar to me.
Right.
That's not a guarantee that we're gonna be great in bed.
Great in bed.
Yes.
How did we get there?
I'm taking it.
I was like, wait.
The reason why
did he say great in bed?
The reason why I took it there is because you got some of these guys psychologically thinking that because they was able to pleasure this particular woman, they're gonna be able to pleasure every woman they come across, and that's not a reality. That's not reality based. It's not reality based. That's, to me, that's delusional and illusional.
How did that come from culturally dating someone?
Due to this reality, again, even within cultures, there's subcultures. Each person varies from person to person. Just because a person is a part of one culture doesn't mean that they're exactly like everybody in that culture.
Right.
They still have individuality within that culture. Case in point, myself. I'm Cherokee, I'm African, and I'm Creole. That's 3 different cultures. That's 3 different nationalities, 3 different ethnicities.
Okay.
But I'm one human. You know what I'm saying? So there's 3 components to me as this one human.
So if we bring it back in, you're basically saying do research over cultural differences.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, I'm still going to say I want to be identified. And when I'm dating, I'm going to identify because that automatically lets me know there's going to be cultural differences that I need to reference. So I hear you, but then I also have to acknowledge there's always going to be cultural references right away. Her first language is Spanish. My first language is not. In identifying that she's Dominican will let me know, okay, there's going to be differences right away.
And that's you respecting.
She does.
That's you respecting her culture.
Yeah.
At the same time, you can respect her culture, and again, as I said earlier, so me personally, I've been in a relationship with a Puerto Rican. I've been in a relationship with a European. Different. 2 different individuals. Okay. And I didn't come into that relationship or that interaction thinking that I'm going to be able to, please this particular person.
We keep going to the pleasing part. We gonna just end it here. Yeah. Okay? Can we?
No, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't assume Marian is Marian, right? I like Marian because she is herself. Yeah. She is loud. She is boisterous. That's Marian. But you can't assume that every Dominican is loud and boisterous and like Marian. I think that's what you're trying to say. I don't know.
I
But
just
I'm
got
just
confused
saying-
because it kept going to the pleasure part,
Yeah.
and I
So
just
I think that's I don't know, but I think what he's saying is you can't box somebody in and saying, oh, because this person is X, Y, and Z that they behave like this because I don't like that. I don't like when people do that to me.
yeah.
Saying, oh, because you do X,
I don't
Y,
think
and Z.
I don't think my reference was boxing people in.
No, I'm
I
just
think I
saying-
was saying that you still have to identify
Oh, absolutely.
individuals for who they
Yeah.
are.
I was just trying to think. I think that's what he was trying.
Okay. Oh. Okay. You're very strong on this. I agree. That was Can we get him the mic? No, we can't hear you.
I'm not really in this, but you have to learn a person from the inside out, regardless of what culture they are. You can't rush into a relationship by looks or how somebody look. Regardless of what anybody say, people say finances don't make a difference. It does.
Finances make a difference.
But finances is not what make a relationship.
It helps.
Communication, trust, and love. You can get the finances together. Don't come in depending on one to be that all. Because if you do, it's going to fail. And you can't make a woman or a man be what you want them to be. You got to get, if you can deal with who they are, then you all are going to gel together. But if you can't expect her to be what you want her to be because you kicking out a couple of dollars to her.
Come on.
Because now you're going to be creating like that's your slave. And you want somebody that's going to be gel with you, equally yoked with you. And if you don't start there, it ain't no need to bring them to no family Thanksgiving, nowhere.
Listen,
Because you not
he
gonna-
basically saying know who you got before you try to bring them to a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, because you got children, and you can't date nobody and not date their children.
That's the next question. That's the next question, right? Like, what is the rules around that? So I remember, so I have two girls, right? So Taylor is 22, and then Ashlyn is 14. But when Taylor was 8, right, I was taught like you don't bring the person around your child until y'all serious, right? And so she didn't get to meet the individual that I ended up actually marrying until we were serious. And that was a factor for her, right? She didn't like the person because she didn't know him. He was just thrown into her life because I chose. And so being taught like the child, because what you just said is they should be dating the child. But when we're taught, or when I was taught, well, you protect her from seeing different men around you. When he came, she didn't have a choice, right? And so now I look back at it in hindsight of, I felt she should have came in early in the game. I felt she should have been around. And so how do you decipher that? Like, how do you balance, just asking for those that have kids, how do you balance when you introduce a person to your child, if you have a child, if you only dated, right? Because if it turns into something and y'all serious and the child don't like them, then what you gonna do? Bye. So just kind of like thinking about that, like, what does that look like? When are you introducing the person you're dating to your child?
For me, it's going to take a while because I'm super overprotective of my kid. And I don't know if this is going to make sense to you guys, but I have rules with my ex-husband. So the rule is that before we introduce somebody to her, we have to introduce it to each other to make sure that he's going to feel comfortable with him, know that he needs to approve it, but for him to know who's going to be around his daughter. So I would say like 6, maybe a year, just because I'm so overprotective. And, maybe that would change. No, I'm saying I will still I can bring him around, but I'm not going to say this is my boyfriend to my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, this is my friend. But it's going to take time because, again, I'm so overprotective, and I just want to make sure that it may things, you know, like these are things that I pray for. That God brings me a man that's gonna love my daughter. That we're gonna. She will, cause I asked God. She'll like him. She'll like him. She'll like him.
But that's not necessarily the case, because my baby was 8 and she did not. She just didn't want another person in our lives. And I forced that. So just kind of thinking about that, like, it may not be a bad person, but if your daughter, right, after I divorced Ashlyn's father, the first person she seen me with, she didn't talk to me for 2 days. And we had been divorced for 2.5 years, right? I didn't bring nobody around her. As soon as I was like, well, this is mommy friend, she was like, what?
I'm just worried about somebody coming into my life, like break my heart, that's fine, but then breaking my daughter's heart.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you balance? What does the balance look like when you're dating and introducing people to your child? Because that, as he said, you're dating your child. Your child has to also date this person. But if the child ain't ready or if the child don't want them, do you stop dating them?
Okay, so I'm a dad of 2 daughters that I'm very overprotective is. And they're actually part of the reason why it takes me forever to date, because one of the biggest things that I make sure I do is whoever I'm dating, you do not take away the time that I have for my child. Like, no matter what, a lot of times my daughters, they're very loving, so they can latch on to somebody real easily. So I am cautious about what I do around them or who I bring around them, but at the same time, I'll never diminish my time for them by adding this new person in. So I do have to work to make sure that whoever I bring in, one, not taking away from my time for my daughter, but at the same time, I try to sometimes incorporate group activities, because I need to see how you are around kids as well too. Like,
so how soon are they meeting this new person?
Purposefully, I try to wait 6 months, but the way life be lifing, you may meet my kids by accident one day. Like, you may need to come to my place of business and daddy got the girls. So they're in the studio. So you may be meeting them for the first time because they're in the studio. And then my girls will see how my behavior is with her compared to how other people who come into the studio is. So my daughters are 9 and 11 and they're smart. Daddy, who's that? Why did you do this
all
for her?
kids,
Why did you
all
do that
kids
for
are
her?
smart.
Yeah, they'll pay attention. They'll know this person holds a little bit more weight than how you talk to these other people in regards to that. And then I sit down and I have that conversation with them. So, Daddy, this Friday, Daddy is going out. He's going out with his friend. Which friend? Such and such. I like her. I don't like her hair, though, but I like her. Like, they'll tell you what they like and they don't like about that person. They're very honest. And over time, now that you've met them, now that you're around them, now that my daughter knows who you are and how you are to me, then you might be able to come around more often. Now you might, if I'm taking the girls to Sky Zone and you happen to have your kids, they can come too. You know, because if you got kids and I got kids, we got to make sure these kids is cool. Then once we figure out the kids are cool, then when we figure out the kids is cool, now we might do more family-orientated stuff. So it's a step-by-step process. But the minute I feel like you are taking me away from what I do with my kids, you kind of going to go to the back burner until you realize we need to make some adjustments here. And vice versa. So as a dad, I'm very picky about what happens when it comes to my kids. But at the same time, I'm also very understanding in her situation too. Because I'm not the only one bringing somebody new around my kids. You're bringing someone new around your kids.
So I would like to hear from a mom's perspective. A mom's perspective first, if we could do that.
So I think it's either no or until you're ready. It's kind of like what he was saying, like sometimes your kids can meet your friend, or if you're dating somebody by default, it depends on your lifestyle. But if I'm kind of tying it back to both
Ashlyn Hansen.
I'm tying it back to kind of both topics that we've been talking about. I hear like it's you as a person on what you decide to do. So you could date somebody and not let them know you have a child right away and get to know them for a little bit, and then you can reveal it, or you can reveal it right away and then see how they take to that information.
You don't think that they should know you have a child right away?
I'm saying that can be an option. Most people will be like, oh, you didn't tell me you have kids. I'm not saying I've been in this, but I'm saying that can be something like if off of a first interaction that you don't have to reveal right away and see how this person is, and then maybe you meet up a second time, and then once you see how this person is with you, knowing that you have kids, then I feel like you can kind of have that conversation with your child too, depending on the age. I just feel like there's some preparation that has to go on both sides. Tying it back to the Thanksgiving conversation too, like with the rules, I don't think there's rules. I feel like either you're not going to bring them, or if you are going to bring them, then maybe for me, maybe I'll go the extra mile and ask my family to, hey, like, this is who I'm dating, this is how they are. And then, like how you said, how your family be like, they going to run you down and say this and ask you this, ask you that. Well, I'm going to go to my partner and be like, well, if you're going to come over, this is what is to be expected. So you're preparing on both sides, because your family should possibly, like, they should kind of accept your person, you know? And then at the same time, when it comes to the kids, it's like you have a choice. Either it's a no until you're ready, and if you're thinking about bringing that person, then I think you should talk to your children about it first. So that it's not like this, oh, here's my friend, and it's be like, ooh, you know, like, I don't like you because they already know. So preparation.
I was going to say, what about those that don't have kids dating somebody with kids? What do you feel like when it's time to meet the kids? No, I'm saying like somebody who don't have children. You don't want to meet them? I know, so I would like to hear that perspective.
If I would want to meet their kids?
Somebody who doesn't have kids dating somebody with kids, like
with kids.
Listening to somebody. What is that perspective? When do you feel like you should meet your partner's children?
I think, yes. I think that when they're ready, because again, you don't even.
But I'm saying for the person who doesn't have kids, like like AJ, she doesn't have kids. Like what would be her perspective? If I was a person,
I didn't have kids, and I was dating somebody who did, then I would rather them bring it to me when they're ready. I would want to meet them when they're ready for me to meet them, not like when I'm gonna meet your daughter, because I don't want to ask when I'm gonna have to ask when I'm gonna meet your daughter or son, because I would want you to be like,
I don't know, because if you're dating somebody. Like my children are the most important thing to me. If I don't feel comfortable with you meeting them, that shows something. Yeah. So if I'm dating a man and he doesn't feel safe enough for me to meet it, I want to know, why is it that we've been kicking it and I haven't met your kids yet? Yeah. I'm not asking on the side that I care to meet them. I want to know if you don't see me as an important person, like why haven't you said let's meet?
Yeah, I guess then it depends on how far along you're into it. And then I think that question is valid when you get to that point, to ask that person. I think that's a valid question. I think when we start getting like serious, because
but that's the thing.
I guess
okay, let's hear somebody else's.
I think serious is like, okay, I mean, like, is if you're at each other's house already or something. Like, to me,
be at somebody's house day one.
House,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It depends. Like,
I
think it depends.
All right, I didn't mean that, Daddy.
I just want to say this, going back to, I'm just going to give you just my perspective because my parents split when I was about 12, right? So I feel like sometimes when people are like, well, if my kid don't like him, I'm going to break up with him. But I'm mature enough now, right? Looking back, like, I remember my mom seeing this guy, and he was a good guy, and we terrorized that man because he was not our father. But looking back now, that was a good dude. Like, he embraced all of us. But we didn't like him because he was not our father. So I think you got to be careful with that. You gotta know that kids are not going to like who you with initially. That doesn't mean that they're a bad person. So you're just gonna write somebody off because your kid don't like them. They're not gonna like them initially because that's the way. I can only speak from experience, right? Like, I don't have any children, but I had custody of my niece for 7 years. And I think it's like nobody ever forced me, like, when I'm going to meet your niece. I don't force people when I date. When I'm going to meet your daughter, it's whenever you feel comfortable. But I will just say you got to be careful with, if my kid don't like them, then it's a no. Kids are going to, depending on what age they are, I know me and my siblings ran that man off. And now looking back, that was a good dude. And so my mom just, you know, you have to. So I don't really know. That's just my two. I just wanted to say that you got to be careful with that because kids will.
I want to camel back off what she said. I was an individual with 3 other siblings, so 4 of us chasing off men that were potential great individuals. Due to what you just said, you're not our father. We're not trying to hear it. We don't care what you coming, how you coming. We don't care about
it's helping us mamas.
You know? So for me, now I'm gonna say this because of one individual that my mom did get with. He wasn't even a stepdad, but he came and he behaved as he was our stepdad. He treated us like we was his own kids. Like he literally came out of his loin. You get what I'm saying? Out the gate though. Out the gate. So it wasn't no process, it wasn't no long wait. He comprehended that when you deal with a woman that has children, that's a package deal. Point blank period. Because he came off like that, guess what? He won us over because of how he came. Not because whether he was with our mom or not, he wasn't our dad or not. It didn't matter to us. You get what I'm saying? What mattered to us was the way he came off out the gate. And so as a person that don't have shorties at 47, right? In my mind,
reminding us that age.
Yeah, most definitely. It's important. In my mind, due to that individual that we're talking about, whenever I consider dealing with a female that has shorties, in my mind, it's a package deal. And if I can't embrace them shorties, I'm not even dealing with that female. Because ain't no such thing as I'm gonna deal with the female and be in a relationship with her only, and I'm gonna exclude the kids. No, you can't exclude the children. She got children, you either A, you're gonna continue, still decide to be with that lady, or you're not. You can't have it both ways. She has children. So if she has children, you gotta consider them children too, or don't deal with her, because I feel like that's disrespectful to that woman. To get involved with her, and she got children, and then you saying, well, they not mine, so I don't want to deal with that particular female. I'm just going to deal with the woman only and not the children. It's impossible. It's impossible.
So I get that. But when we look at, again, as a mom, and I've been through it, and having 2 girls, being married and being divorced, we can say we not going to date. If the daughter does not like the person, then we don't date them. Or we say, we stick with that person. But it's still a conflict. It's still hard in the household. It's still a challenge. So balancing that out makes it matters. And I still don't know the answer to when you introduce a child to the person. All I know is when it's a process. I'll just say that. It's a process. If you're dating, you said if you're dating a person that don't have kids, you can't pressure them to meet the kids. That's what I'm saying. If you don't ever meet if you're dating somebody and you don't get to meet their kids, I feel that's a problem. Yeah. Yeah. In your opinion. Where's the other mic? Okay. What was the feed? What you?
Oh no, she kind of said it actually. Yeah. I was just thinking like, I think it's bad when I've had experiences where guys but they allowed me to meet their kids too soon. And I felt like that was inappropriate. Like, we just met and went on one date, and now I'm meeting your kids, and I get you have kids. But I was going back on what you said, and you said the right thing. But that's all.
So when you met the kids, did you say, this too soon?
Yeah. I'm like, you tripping, but okay, whatever, we here. They're here with us. But hey.
We're here. Okay, so we're going to go over to the final question about gifts, right? Because I was having this conversation, right? And meeting a person right away, Christmas is around the corner. So I'm like, do I send my Christmas gift? My Christmas list? How long you got to date a person before you expect a Christmas gift? Like, if you meet a person this month, right today, do you expect a Christmas gift? Are you giving that person a Christmas gift?
Marian wants a Christmas gift. I'm not. That day that
If I fall in love with 3 business days, then he got 1 business day to give me my gift. What's your perspective? How long? What's the?
I would say gifts are like, for me, gifts are a love language.
Mine too.
And so that's just like me meeting you and I invite you to my birthday dinner and you don't come and get me.
you're
Like,
crazy.
what we doing?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying, I'm not asking them. Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Mine too. Thank you.
So if you see me on Christmas and you don't have a gift, I think that might be a problem.
How long have y'all been dating?
If you're at my house on Christmas,
So if they're not at your house, that's different.
if you see me on Christmas, if we see each other on Christmas, get a bottle of wine. I need a gift.
Flowers, a bottle of wine, something. I think it's a case by case thing, but it's the thoughtful. It's the thought that counts. So like, you know that I'm this type of woman. You know that I like flowers. You know that I like whatever. But if you come with nothing, as a gentleman, like if you're coming to my house on Christmas, thoughtful. Just be thoughtful. You don't got to bring nothing, spend a lot of money.
True.
But it's Christmas. Now, exchanging gifts, I'm not going to ask you for anything, but I think women all on the same page with, it's really the thought that counts. Are you thinking about me? I'm not getting him a gift. I'm going to have food there. I'm going to have drinks there. I'm not getting you a gift.
I'm not getting a gift either.
Show up with flowers. Flowers are $10, baby, at Metro Market. You good. I'm just joking.
I'm not getting nobody a
Now,
gift.
if the feeling is mutual between them 2 individuals, I believe it should be equivalent for them both to give each other gifts. That's it. That's all. Yeah. It shouldn't be no stimulations to it, you know? No
It
stimulations to it
depends
at
on
all.
how long. It depends on how long.
It should be none at all whatsoever. Just give a gift out. Be equal. This should be equivalent, and it's share our wealth with each other. That's it.
It depends.
So this is a huge question. Y'all know Christmas is coming up. So if you have a boo, what you doing?
Christmas and birthday for me.
No, I know. I host events, right? Like we have a Friendsgiving tomorrow.
Right.
I have a Christmas party. If I invite you to my Christmas party, doesn't mean we're dating. It means that I like you enough to have you at my Christmas party. Oh no, for me, again, I do agree, no expectations, but I do believe if I see you on Christmas, there should be something. Right? That's just, you're coming to... I think it's the level of where we are. If I'm going to his house on Christmas, then yes. If I'm invited over for dinner, then yes, I'm not going to come empty-handed.
I feel like you should give gifts.
Even if it's something like socks or something, I might not know him well enough to be like gifting, but I don't mind going to Target and grabbing a nice pair of socks and
if
going
y'all
over
are
there.
dating and y'all are getting to know each other, you have had conversations, meaning that you have told a little bit about yourself. So if you got something small or simple that came from that conversation and that was a gift on Christmas, that means that you were at least been paying attention, even if it's a month. Like, I can be dating somebody and we had a conversation and she can talk about how she lost her wallet a week ago. Your Christmas gift for me could be a brand new wallet.
You know you ain't getting no Christmas gift.
but because we've only talked for about a month, I don't know enough about you to get anything extravagant. But at the same time, I'm not just going to be like, come over by my house and don't have nothing for you, or go over by your house and don't have nothing for you.
But
like,
the rule not the same for birthday? Is the rule different for birthday?
Rules
and Christmas?
is different for birthday because
So
birthday
if I
is
just
your
met
day.
you, we had this experience between one of us on this couch. If I just met you and your birthday is coming up, do I take you out on your birthday?
You can take me for drinks on my birthday, yeah.
I didn't say take you.
If I just met you and you know my birthday is December 18th and December 18th, I'm probably looking for you out of all people to go do something, whether we going to dinner, whether we going to have a drink, something simple.
So we met December 1st.
It is my birthday. I am a Sagittarius. We doing something.
Listen, my birthday,
Because
if
December
your
19th,
birthday
I'm no longer
is
talking to you then.
December 18th and you meet somebody December 1st, are you taking them out for their birthday? It's a case by case. Can we talk with the mic?
So my birthday, I meet you on the 1st. My birthday is on the 18th. My expectation is that I don't expect you to get me anything.
Right.
If you get me something, that's great. But if you don't, you've known me for less than 3 weeks. Why do I have an expectation that you're going to give me a gift? That's crazy.
But what if they don't tell you happy birthday? Do you have a problem if they don't tell you happy birthday?
Well, they're gonna now that's simple.
Okay.
That's simple. You gotta do that. I mean, come on.
I'm just asking.
That's different. It's so many factors, but time is definitely a factor. If I meet you on December 20th and the 25th, you like, am I coming to your family's house for Christmas? Absolutely not. I've known you for 5 days. No.
All right. So last question, because this came out of this. What is the holiday rules as we go into the holidays for boos and bays? What makes a person a bae on a holiday? You got to talk every day for how long? Every day until what? Until the...
You want to be invited to my place? I need to talk to you every day. A text or something. In the bed, good morning, beautiful.
No, good morning, beautiful.
What if it's Grand Rising?
Grand Rising, beautiful. Grand Rising, beautiful. Grand Rising, beautiful. This is Grand Rise. So as we go into the holidays, and y'all get y'all booze, we got a comment in the back.
My question is, I'm sitting here listening, all of you all.
You got to put it up closer.
Are you all dating to be a date? Are you all dating for a husband, for a family? Or how do you look at that when you talking about, my birthday is December the 10th. I'm not going to ask you to get me anything. You're going to find out how that person is. If you call and just say happy birthday, that means something to me. I'm not telling you what to do for me because you don't know if that person is doing it because you told him to or because he's doing it from his heart. So I guess I'm just posing that as a question. Why are you all dating or for what reason? And especially if you have children that are not little children. You're looking for a father and a husband, and even if that father have children, or that woman has children, regardless of you hear some man say, I'm not gonna do that because that's not my baby. That's not my baby. Whether you getting child support or not, from that you still have to look out for that person. So what are you expecting out of a date? And if you just dating, you shouldn't have no expectations. But if you're looking for a husband, you should have plenty of expectations.
You heard that?
So if you look at
That's communication, right? That's in communication when you are dating a person.
of where you are
What
dating,
your intentions
what's your
are,
level
right?
of dating?
Like if I've had people tell me, and that's cool. I've met so many great people, we just not on the same page, and that's okay. Like they're like, hey, I just got out of something. I'm basically looking for a good time, not a long time. Okay, well we on different trains, bro, because I've already been at the good time. I've been there. I'm not on that train no more. But we can, you know what I'm saying? So it's about conversation and expectations. And it's okay. I feel like people are scared to have those conversations. Asking somebody, like, where are you at? There's nothing wrong with that. So you know that I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste my time.
Right.
But we can still be good people to each other.
Yeah.
I've met some amazing men. We're just on different pages, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I agree. You gotta be honest about where you at. Are we? What was? You want me to answer? Am I dating for a husband? No. What? So the question was, what am I dating for, or what am I looking for in a date, or am I? I am at a place in my life where I am going with alignment. So I'm not rushing into anything. I am dating for future, but I am taking my time, right? I have been married. I've been divorced. I love where I'm at as a person. I enjoy the space I am as an individual, but I also enjoy partnership. And so as that flows and grow and it moves into the spaces it needs to move into, yes, I'm looking for that direction, but I'm not rushing it. I'm not rushing it.
Yes. 3 to 5 business days. She been telling y'all 3 to 5.
I'm dating for a husband. I want to have another baby, so I'm not here to play around with nobody. I don't want to rush, but I do like my clock is tick. Yeah, I'm 33. So I am dating with the intention to meet somebody that we. Yeah, he can be a baby daddy. Once he put a ring on this finger. So I'm dating with intention. That's why, like, you don't know what you want? You don't have
It's wild, though.
it's and that's the thing. Sometimes men are not honest, and you know, I've met great guys too, and I haven't really dated that much. But it's tough. It's tough out there to find somebody who's aligned with the things that you want. And she always tell me, but you gotta go out and have fun and whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to have fun. I just want to have a baby. But that's not the only thing. I do want to have a family, but I don't want to keep just having pointless dates and going out with somebody just because.
And I think that's important in the beginning, right? Like you said, talking about it in the beginning, right? Because if I meet somebody at this point in my life, they're like, I want more kids. It's like, nope, next. Because I already know there are no children exiting this body, so I'm not the woman for you. So that means you need to, ain't nothing you can say gonna change my mind, no amount of money. I'm done. Like, yeah. I don't want to do that. So you're not gonna force me, and I feel like sometimes people think they can change somebody's mind because they like the person so much. But no, like that, you gotta stand on, and that's a non-negotiable for me. And I've met guys like in their late 40s, like 50s, they still want kids, and I'm thinking to myself, why? You gonna be picking up your kid and they gonna be like, who's that, your daddy or your granddaddy? But anyway, I'm like, why do you want kids at 50 something? But hey, whatever. But hey, to each their, right, and that's what I was gonna say, to each their own. Cause I have a friend, he's almost 60. He said he will still have a kid. He don't look like it or nothing, cause he feel like he can still keep up. And that's fine. And I'm not the woman for you. That's my point.
It's tough out here in the streets.
Well, this was our Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving holiday edition. Thank y'all for hanging with us, kicking it with us. I don't know if we got any answers to any of the questions. I will have to go back and watch the show because I don't think any firm answers came out. I think all opinions, and we had a little preaching that also came through it. But we appreciate y'all time and for hanging with us. Can't wait for this episode to drop. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Until the next time, this is the Grwn Woman. Oh.
We have an event coming up that we got to tell everyone about.
December 14th.
Don't forget.
Who in the room knows what December 14th is? Only one person? Okay. So December 14th, we are doing a brunching and networking. What is it?
Brunch networking, vision board edition.
And networking, the vision board edition, where we're going to have international speaker Dr. Joe Johnson. And then we're going to have Shakkiah Danielle, which is a content influencer making 7 figures. She walked away from her job, and now she's known with her twins as the Cooking Twins. And so she's going to just talk to us about purpose, promise, and the pivots. And so is Dr. Joe. And so y'all need to be in the building. We have about 25 more spaces, so the goal is 100 women in the room. But y'all got to be there. December 14th at 12 o'clock.
Tone, don't forget to add the link.
So we're going to add the
episode,
link
okay?
at the bottom
Please?
of the episode. Hopefully by the time this drop, we still have spaces. Come join us. Come hang with us. Come learn. Get ready for 2025. You know, we're going to level up. Now I can say.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the Grwn Woman Podcast.
This is the Grwn Woman
Thank you.
Podcast.